I am Slick Nick, your personal certified Enneagram coach. I can barely say that with a straight face because my wife is here. I always open my videos by saying that, but with my special guest there, it just cracked me up because I'm like, oh yeah, there's another human being right beside me hearing how silly that sounds. That is how I do all the videos. So, what is this video for? It's a course about Enneagram. This is my favorite book. There's a link right there. You can check it out. It's been very helpful for me to understand Enneagram and understand those around me. So you can probably already establish 30 seconds into this video, it makes sense that I would be a 7 and that my wife is a 9. So I want to unpack that a little bit.
Just by me sitting here quiet?
Yes, because an Enneagram 9 is the peacemaker. They typically will go along with things, kind of the token middle child of the Enneagram. And so they are used to going along with that. Meanwhile, the 7s are the main ones talking and kind of leading things along, being goofy. And we've been married 13 and a half years. And that's pretty much been the story of how it's always been. And it's funny because if you're watching this video because you find yourself in a situation similar where 7 married to a 9, wanted to make this video to show you what that can look like. Now, fortunately, in hindsight, as I researched it, 7s and 9s happen to be a great match. And that's convenient when looking back. Oh yeah, okay, it makes sense. Not only that we would meet, fall in love, stay married, you know, all that stuff. There's psychology behind it. So I want to unpack that a little bit, as I already have. But I also want to point out too that the wings matter too. All right, if we were to stereotype me as someone who's energetic and keeping things interesting, and then we have my wife who is quite
boring.
No,
like the opposite.
No, the supporter and you know, goes along with whatever silly thing, you know, that we're doing, like, you know, making a video during our lunch breaks. But also we have to look at our wings. So I'm an 8 wing. I've definitely come to terms with that. And so that's more of that aggressive take charge inside of me, whether I express it or not, it's always there. And then we've learned that my wife is a 1 wing, which is actually the perfectionist. So when we look at that from a marriage perspective, my wife does all of the bills.
Budget?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You know, like when it comes to planning trips, she's the one setting up the travel and where we're going to be staying and things like that. So that's one of those matches that we see. And I need that. I need someone to be that detailed. Because is it fair to say I'm not? Like I hate details. I'm a 7, so details bore me and they make me angry. So I want nothing to do with details. And fortunately I have a wife whose wing is a 1. And so that's good. Now, I would say in this situation, whatever your Enneagrams are as a married couple, you also need to look at that wing because you can imagine that wing is also going to be sort of an alter ego for you to realize, yes, you're looking at a 7 and a 9, but you're also looking at an 8 and a 1. And you can see how challenges could come from that, from someone who is more aggressive and then someone who's more detailed. You can see how that could cause tension there. But again, those are the wings, but I think it's worth pointing out because overall, the overall numbers that we are the right match for each other. And I think that's interesting, you know, for any married couple to look at that from all the angles. Because you've also got your growth and you've got your stress. I'm just laughing because
I'm just sitting here quietly.
Well, and it's funny too to me that each Enneagram perceives the whole concept of Enneagram differently. Like there are certain ones like 5, 6s, and 7s that just love Enneagram. And I've observed that most 9s don't really care. And it reminds me...
It goes along with everything, our whole attitude about everything.
Yeah.
Just go along. Whatever, if that makes you happy to think about people in 9 different categories, great.
Well, and it's similar to the DNA test results. Like a couple years ago when everybody in our family took those DNA test results. Me and my sister and my mom, who are 5, 6, and 7, totally cared about it. Meanwhile, you, my dad, and Andrew, our brother-in-law, all 9s, just went along with it, but didn't really care. And you still probably don't remember what the DNA test results are. Meanwhile, I've got it memorized.
I'm Croatian and a little bit African.
That is true.
0.9% or something.
Well, hey, our 5 minutes is up. That was 5 minutes of fun. Your comments belong right here.